Hello everyone, welcome back to Caro-Kann Chess. So today we are going to be analyzing something that is very special, a high-level clash from the FIDE World Cadets Cup 2026 featuring two incredible talented under 12 players. The name of the players are Ademir Ali Poirazi versus Tulejin Ramazan. So both are titled players. Ademir is a FIDE master and Tulejin Ramazan is a candidate master. So in this game we dive into the Caro-Kann Defense, one of the most solid and strategic openings in the O of chess. So starting from the move 1, we are going to see the brilliances that the two talented young players had showed throughout the game. So without wasting much of the time, Ademir opened with e4. So e4 came on the board. So after e4 came on the board, alright, we see c6 coming on the board. So d4, d5, this is the usual stuff that we usually talk about. Knight c3, so a capture occurred, takes, plays this, knight takes, this capture occurs. So we reach this originated from the knight c3 variation of the Caro-Kann. Yeah, that's how I can put it. So we reach a position that is commonly known, the move that Ademir plays c3. So after c3, f5, just expanding on the queen side, bishop d3. So from the usual, sometimes instead of playing that, they usually like doing this, of which we are going to play this and do short castle. But in the game, Ademir played c3, f5, bishop d3, the usual stuff, knight a6. So if you want to take, yeah, you can even take with this instead of doubling your pawns. That was also great. She wanted, I think, to put the knight somewhere to maneuver it like this. Yeah, something like that. Or even do this, trying to make a pawn break somewhere here. So that's what happened in the game. Knight e2. So knight e2. These guys are titled players. Although they are very young, they understand the tactics that are behind every opening. So she was trying to prevent this. Now if you do this, you can be kicked away. That's the idea. So g6, trying to finesse the bishop, putting it somewhere here, and do short castle. Bishop e3, bishop g7, h4. So after Ramazan, so h4, she immediately stopped it with h5. She immediately stopped the expansion with h5. So knight f4 came on the board, f5. So f5 was somehow a bit of inaccuracy because it allowed the pawn push. Yeah, it allowed this. And what happens if you take? You receive this. So once you do this, this will come. That was the idea. This happens, you do this. So once you take this, now you can notice that after this, so white is the one now who is in command of the game. That was the idea after this pawn was pushed one step forward. So going back to the position, so Ademir didn't see this variation. So after playing f5, she played rook there. So the intention of the rook was maybe to bring it somewhere here where it can attack the king side if the short castle is ever played. So let's see, knight comes there. Now the same position. If this happens, you can have this, so it can't be played. That's the idea. Now she has stopped that with the help of the knight that was on a6. Short castle, long castle. So once you see long castle, you can notice that you're going to have fireworks all over the board. These are exciting games that are open everywhere on the board. So knight jumps to d5, knight takes d5, c takes d5. So c takes d5 was trying just to make this file open. You can notice that the king is on the c file, so the black player was just trying to open the file. That is what Ramazan was trying to do. So we see Uzidimia playing the bishop to f4. Black plays bishop e6, rook g3. So after rook g3, so you can see that this pawn is hanging, so even a capture is just okay from here. Let's see, rook e8. So rook e8 was trying to prepare some discoveries, but at the moment they are not there. Let's see. So Uzidimia removed the queen from the semi-open e file. If this moves, she didn't want to start having problems with the queen, so that's why she moved. So we see bishop d7 completing the file as usual. So rook e1. So rook e1. So after playing rook e1, the move that followed was rook takes e1. So after rook takes e1, so queen takes e1, b5. Just expanded on the queen side, since the white king is this side. So king b1, b4. So trying to go for the pawn chain. Bishop e5, bishop h6, f4. Just closing up the expansion. Bishop b takes c3. So after b takes c3, you add Uzidimia had options, and the option that she chose was to capture with this, but we can see that her capturing with this was putting the king somewhere in awkward position, because these two pawns are the ones that are defending the king. So that's why it was important for her to capture here. So let's see what happens. So after these captures, you are going to receive this. So you are now going to notice that the rook did not belong somewhere here. So you are going just to bring this. You can even do this. This is totally fine and is totally playable. Yeah, that was the tactic behind. But in the game, after the capture, she captured with the pawn, and we see king coming to h7, rook e3, bishop f8, g4. So g4 is trying to create some of the threats. Maybe if you take, so you are going to notice that this diagonal will be open. Wait, this diagonal will be open, and you have noticed that once this diagonal is open and your king is here, it is vulnerable to attacks. Let's see how she handled this. So Ramazan took with this pawn. So the pawn was pushed again to h5. So g takes h5. So after taking there, this was played. She moved up, just closing up the attack that can arise from here. So queen takes d5, bishop e6, queen c6, and she offered an exchange. So once you know that you are up in advantage, you can offer an exchange like the way she did. So let's see. So captures occurred. c4. Bishop comes there. So the bishop was played there. So instead of playing the bishop there, so let's see, because a capture can occur, and then these two pawns will start being pushed to queening. That was the idea. So instead of playing there, she could have even just played this. This could have been much better. Yeah. But in the game, she played there and allowed this. So the bishop was pushed, went there, played there, captured. This was played. So after playing this, Ramazan retreated back, just defending the bishop. And mind you, if this bishop launches itself here, then it will be game over if the rook is somewhere this side, starting from here going this side. So that's why the rook belongs somewhere in the back. Let's see what happened. And she played there. So now you can notice that after playing there, this came just as a simple threat, but this time it could have been met with this. Yeah. So let's see what happened. She pushed. That was the idea, trying to deflect this from this diagonal so that it comes maybe to the defense of this square and leave checkmate in one if this bishop launches itself here. That was the idea. So let's see. Yeah, she was falling into the trap, so she pushed, did this, and Ramazan played this. And it was in this position that Uzidimia realized that the checkmate was unavoidable, if you can notice. So how can you defend checkmate from here? So let's say you do this. Still you are going to face this, and you are going to notice that your king has nowhere to go, of which you need to capture, and this will come. That was the idea behind the rook being here. It was threatening checkmate in one at first. Yeah, so this is the game that I had for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thank you.